Hey everybody, it's Neflarian, and today I have a sneak peek for some new content, the newest content to Bit Heroes Quest, the first new content we've gotten in nearly 18 months. The last new real content was in September of 2023, it is now March of 2025, and we have a new world boss, and along with the new world boss, we have new familiars as well. I get the pleasure of introducing you to the new DPS legendary familiar Octakill, and I gotta tell you, he is the absolute most beastly familiar I have seen. I'm so pumped. I don't want to waste too much of your time, so we're gonna hop right in and look at him. Let's go. The familiar that we're looking at today is named Octakill, and wow, look at him. He actually looks beefy. Looks like he's actually going to kill all the other familiars around him. His stat spread is also amazing. 21.8, 17.7, 55.5. Guys, honestly, that's ideal for DPS, and I do want to just mention he bucks the trend of some of the more recent DPS familiars in that his stamina is 17.7%. Glarsdos is 17.4%. That means that Glars can be a bait for this DPS, just the DPS can't really get hit. There's not a whole lot of room there, but it's possible. In order to make Octakill, you're gonna have to get some things though, he's not free. First, you need 15 unstable yolk, which is the new world boss fusion material. We roughly know that you get 1 out of every 20 runs, you get 1 of them. So it's about a 5% drop, and it's not affected by item find. Next, you need 1 Emperor Friedrich, which is the new epic tank found in this new world boss, 1 Warhead, which is the new epic DPS found in this world boss, and 1 Wadis. This really isn't that expensive for how strong this familiar is. I cannot wait for you guys to learn more about him. Let's really hop in. Next, I want to talk about his special abilities, and he's got 3 really big ones. The first is 10% ricochet chance. Second, your team is going to deal 15% more damage to the enemies. And third, when you hit a target with 4 root stacks, you remove them and deal 200% damage to them. Now that's 3 really big ones, and I want to break them down. First is ricochet chance. What ricochet does is it allows an attack to jump between existing enemies, so enemies that are alive, dealing the same damage to another random enemy that's hit. Ricochets can be blocked, evaded, deflected, all that stuff. They can also be ricocheted again. That's huge because as you're hitting multiple times, you're able to ricochet multiple times. There is no limit to the number of times an attack can actually ricochet, which makes every time it procs actually really strong, and 10% is a really high number. The second one is team dealing 15% more damage. I see this as kind of like Ignatus Ra, and it can stack. Get multiple Octakills and you're going to be dealing a ton more damage. The fourth one is when you hit a target with 4 root stacks to remove the damage. That's El Corvo, just on this familiar. And root itself is also pretty cool. When you root an enemy, you apply a stack of root and there's a maximum of 4 stacks, and root reduces the damage that the enemy is going to be able to deal by 3% per stack, so a maximum of 12%. So you're already making them deal less damage, and then when you hit one that has all 4 stacks on them, you're going to deal massive damage to them just as a pure nuke skill on any hit. Of course, skills are where DPS live and die, so we're going to look at them, and there are some really good skills. One of them might be the best skill in the game right now. First, at 0 SP is Bike Beak. It roots closest enemy for 50% of your power 2 times. If you get a dual strike on this, you've already hit that 4 root stacks threshold, and you're going to hit that same one multiple times, so you hit it quickly. The second skill is 1 SP, and it's called Run Over. Root closest 3, and what this does is pierce 2, so if there's a dead enemy right behind the front one, you're only going to hit that 3rd enemy, you're not going to hit the 3rd and 4th for 82%. Again, this applies root to them already. Really great skill to spread root out amongst the enemies. The third skill is also 1 SP, and it's called Precise Spray. You're going to root furthest for 78% twice, so it's kind of a duplicate of that 0 SP, but instead of closest, it's going to be furthest. That's where a lot of baits hang out, so you might be able to hit a nuke skill on them through this precise spray skill. Fourth is Pale Skull Burst at 2 SP. You're going to root closest, furthest, strongest, and weakest for 55%. Keep in mind that this can actually be like the same enemy. If you have multiple enemies out, if you've only got one, the closest enemy, the furthest enemy, the strongest enemy, and the weakest are all the same enemy, so you're going to root them 4 times in one go. This is really, really strong. That being said, it's not as strong as this last skill called More Bullets. Only costs 3 SP, so you've actually got an extra SP you can work around. You root a random for 40%, and then 7 other targets. This is a bounce skill really similar to Melborg. If you only have one enemy, it's only going to hit 1 time, but if you've got 2, it'll bounce back and forth and root 8 times. It will end up proccing that El Corvo big nuke on one, if not both of them, if you manage to dual strike. Except this skill also has an additional 10% ricochet. So this skill gets 20% ricochet. You can also dual strike this and just decimate a team. If there's only 2 enemies, you're gonna absolutely destroy them. If there's 3 or 4, you're probably gonna destroy them. Well, that's it for Octakill, and I mean, I gotta say, like, that's it, but also, wow. This is probably the best DPS familiar in the game. I cannot imagine one actually being better, particularly at the legendary level. He might make Lurky a thing of the past. That 3 SP skill is just nasty. I cannot wait to jump into the game and figure out more. Until then, I'm gonna have a theory crafting video on this, thinking about what might be a good place to jump in with Octakill, the ways to set up our augments, why we might want to set them up. Be on the lookout for that. Maybe I'll be right, maybe I won't. The only way to find out is to farm this world boss when it gets released very, very soon. And I cannot wait to see you guys in the game itself. What do you think about Octakill though? Do you think he's as good as I do? Leave some comments down below, and as always, if you like my videos, like them. If you dislike them, dislike them, and if you want more, hit that subscribe button, and I will see you in the next video. Hey, why are you still here? Why are you still watching this video? You should be out farming for Octakill. I'm really not joking when I say that Octakill is the best DPS familiar in the game. I'm probably going to be using him over Lurky even, and my Lurkies are pretty much maxed out. The tier 21 raid is not going to farm itself. Those Waddises are not going to persuade or bribe, I'm not here to judge you, themselves. Get out there, do it. Go. Goodbye.